Alright, and I think we're live. Welcome everyone to the top cut of Astral Ascent. It's been a long time coming and I'm excited. This is a 6-player top cut. It's a little bit asymmetrical, but it's a 6-player top cut. The players we have in this tournament so far, if I can check tourney updates, are Jez, Snoopers, Chronoknight, Harryknight, Marshmallow, and Finn the Demon are the 6 players that made top cut. Snoopers was eliminated by Jez already in a 2-1 set. And now Chronoknight and Harryknight are playing to see who will beat Jez in one of the semifinals. Chronoknight is on his home-brewed version of Shios, while Harryknight is sticking with Teklar, the tried and true deck. It's a bit of an off-meta pick. He's maybe the only player who ever plays a non-combiner variant of Teklar, but he's been getting impressive results, beating out players who came into this tournament with more medalists as well. Chronoknight's going to let us see the hand here, which is nice of him. And as most CG games start, there's going to be a little bit of draw passing. At some point, Chronoknight might look to play the early Jakra, play Jakra, swing for 4, without having to spend a removal to clear the board first, and that sets up Jakra in the grave. This is the play that a lot of Blue Flames players tend to do. And now Harryknight's buying a creature zone. Let's see if this translates into the first play of the game. And we do see a Zamazed. It's great to get these Zamazeds out early. Zamazed, when you play it, you get to add a zone of any type to your planet. So he's getting a creature zone now, which would normally cost 4 stars, so that's basically a -1-star creature, which can swing for 2 points. And now it's up to Chrono to find a response to this. You really don't want to let a 2-point creature be swinging for nothing. Probably we're going to see a Logi here. Let's see. Chrono is buying the zones. And as expected, Logic comes down, kills the Zometal, and Chrono is getting that Undying Blue Flame, this card also known as Tower by the community, which in combination with Jakra is an absolute just destroyer of decks. It allows you to free play a Shios creature. In this case, it's most likely going to be Jakra. And then at the end of your turn, you can kill it. You have to kill it. But because Jakra can shuffle in a Blue Flames card into the deck to shuffle back one of the opponent's creatures, you can just get infinite Jakra and infinite removal in this way through shuffle. And shuffle removal is some of the best removal in the game because it ignores a lot of effects, doesn't allow for discard combos. It's just such a powerful combo, and it's great for Chronoknight to get it here so early. We'll see if he chooses to use it on a Thorn here, or if he's going to do something more straightforward. It's kind of aggressive here to play for a shuffle, but a TFP play here. I like this. So I'm gonna kill the Thorn. It's gonna come back next turn, but in the meantime, Chronoknight's gonna get 4 points. He's basically spending this TFP to temporarily kill this creature, remove it from play to get the 4 points, and start to take the lead. But right now, Chrono's hand has a lot of situational cards. Erratic Void is situational, Kurarok Comet is situational, Monument to Creation is situational, and if Harryknight doesn't play big commit boards, even Field and Crash don't always get the most play. So with the right board, Harryknight can put Chrono in an awkward spot, but we'll see if he has the cards to do so. Top scanner here. Harryknight could look at the top card of his deck. If it was a Teklar creature, Harryknight would have been able to draw a card, but chose not to, so no Teklar creature on the top of the deck, but top scanner, still an option. And wow, early field from Chrono here. Normally you are way more protective, but I guess Chrono realizing here that he doesn't have many creatures, so he has to use his field a little bit more aggressively. Although I don't know what he's going to do against this board. It's not so easy to efficiently kill these creatures. He doesn't have the stars to... Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay, this is a really heads-up play from Chrono, actually. Gonna use the tower to free play Laji. Jackra, shuffle back tower so it can be used later in the game. Shuffling back the Thorn. Denying the draw from the attack. And then Chrono's going to be able to swing for 4 more points here. And a field from Harryknight as well. Not going to give those points to Chrono. Let's see if Harryknight can try to get another use out of top scanner here. Could do so with a Teklar creature. Blur is not one of them. But this is interesting for other reasons. I didn't know Harryknight was playing the Pally-False package, but I guess it makes sense. Teklar is a little bit low on creatures. It came out as a plant a little later in the game, and so it doesn't have the same volume of creatures as other plants do. And so you have to kind of supplement it with some other additional strategy. And we see here Harryknight's going for the Serpent, which is a big 8-star creature which you can free play, and I think we'll see that come into play later. Both of the Shios creatures are dying, and that's going to add a counter to Shios. Every time Shios hits a multiple of 3 counters, you get to draw a card in addition to the card you draw for turn. And we can see how that's helping Chronoknight with hand advantage. Chronoknight here, we're seeing a strategy to play early and aggressive, to use these resources when he can, not saving Crash for maybe the perfect moment, but it's good enough. And so Chronoknight's going to play Crash here and look to get some more points. 3-headed Roback plus Max Sprout, gonna swing for 5. No, I stand corrected, 6 cards, and Black Hole Blocker would, as expected, block Beast of the Black Hole if it were played here. So it's a guaranteed 6, and sometimes if you're a CG player, you'll find that 20 points is pretty daunting to get to. It feels like it's hard to clear your opponent's board that many times. But Chronoknight's already halfway there, and just like 2 more big attacks will win him the game. However, he has a lot of situational cards in his hand. It might be possible that he's not able to play these for a few turns here. And this one Pyronist isn't going to be enough. Harryknight gets another look at the top card of his deck because of Steam Crank and Teklar. And it's just going to kill the 3-headed Roback. Not going to kill the Max Sprout, which is a really big deal. This means that Chrono gets another turn of value from it. And Zammer said this is what Chrono wanted here. He wants some creatures to be able to play. Can swing for a single point with the Pyronist, or maybe Zammer for 2. Going for the Zammer here. And it's going to swing for 2 points. Harryknight has Beast of the Black Hole, but Chronoknight has Beast of the Black Hole. Has Black Hole Blocker here, which is huge. Gonna entirely negate that super powerful activator and put Chronoknight at 12 points already in the game. We're just on turn, I think it says 15, but that's like both players' turns. This is early for a CG game. Both players have only drawn like 10 cards in their deck. Again, Chronoknight is struggling with cards in hand and creatures available to him. So if Harryknight can just find the right response here, set up a formidable 2-creature board, that is going to be a real challenge for Chrono. But if not, Chrono's very quick. If he top decks Tower and uses the shuffle effect with Jackra twice more, that'll do it. Just 2 more attacks with Jackra to face is enough. But this Talakon, one of the strongest cards that Tekla has available to it, will be a real challenge for Chrono to deal with. 340 health isn't that much, but given what options Chrono has available to himself right now, that is going to do a lot of damage. Every turn that creature can attack and apply pressure, and Chrono doesn't have anything he can do right now. He needs to draw one of his towers or some other removal out. Here we can see how that spending of the Galaxy Crash has come back to bite him. Maybe the points were worth it, but now Harryknight can set up a nice, powerful board here using the top scanner because he knows he has a Tekla creature on the top of his deck, I'm assuming. Maybe it's Tekla's only from cosplay. Okay, I guess not. Just playing the top scanner to apply pressure here. And I'm not sure how Chrono can respond to this. Only has 5 stars. Has no way to kill this Talakon. I think he's going to be hurting for a little bit. Gonna play down Pyronist, put that Roback back on top of the deck. So that's a removal out for next turn on his top deck. But can't even kill the top scanner. Wow. And now Harryknight's gonna be able to probably get... Oh, well, I guess Pyronist, despite being a Shias card, has a whole 200 health, which is more than top scanner's power. So, if Harryknight wants to swing for face, he's going to have to kill that Pyronist with the Talakon and only get 2 points. So pretty heads up play there by Chrono. But still, he's reliant on his top decks because Robat comes down, kills Talakon, Talakon maybe free plays. It's going to be a messy interaction for sure. Because when that Talakon free plays, Chrono's going to have 2 activators he wants to play. Gets Zomaddle as well. Not the card you're looking for right now. Would have liked to draw that earlier when you were doing all those big attacks with your Shias creatures. But you do kind of have to deal with this Talakon here. So you can play the Roback to kill the Talakon. And then Talakon's gonna draw, then you play Monument to Creation. But then I don't think you can Erratic Void. I think we're gonna have to sort out that ruling probably. Okama to kill the attachment, which will kill the creature as well. I hadn't realized that was an option, but probably a good one. And we're going to see the swing here. Choosing not to use Talakon here is interesting. But it is kind of useful now because it denies both the Monument and the Erratic Void. And this Robacked only has 110 health, so Harryknight has plenty of cards in his deck to deal with it if he wants to. Top Scanner is good enough here. In some ways, Chronoknight kind of hopes that Harryknight gets the draw. Because if Harryknight gets the draw, Chrono gets 2 draws from Monument. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. Perhaps to Chrono's dismay. And Harryknight going in with the aggression. And swinging for these points, Harryknight is aggressive, even though that doesn't seem like it from our perspective. Harryknight has no idea that Chrono hasn't used Beast yet. It's not in the grave, so Chrono could have come back in the game right now if he had Beast, but he doesn't, and so he's gonna have to continue to struggle here. Maybe, yeah, it's tough here. AAA is also not at all useful, and now we're seeing Chrono's unique deck building style come back to bite him. He likes to play all these tech cards, and although they're cool, the Comet was cool to kill the Tome, the Black Hole Blocker was really powerful, they're piling up and he's missing out on creatures, and so he can't respond to these 2 creature boards that Harryknight's setting up. But Harryknight too is in a little bit of trouble here, because he doesn't have the stars to buy back the battle zone and the creature and kill and swing. He might just have to sacrifice the top scanner to trade it with the Guster. And give Chronoknight an open board to do something. What does he have? He could pass a turn if he has the Chaos Beast, Hydreigon, or I honestly forget the name, but we see a Rowdy here. Oh wow, look at this. Rowdy, not for Serpent, which is what it's normally used for, but simply to kill the Guster because it has 160 health, protecting the board and putting more pressure on Chrono to find responses. Zamorzed is nice, it could kill the top scanner or the Rowdy here, but it's simply not enough in this state. Chrono needs more. Chrono needs more cards to be able to deal with this stuff, and he doesn't have them at the moment. He can play the Zamor, kill the top scanner. He can even play Zomadeline, trade it with the Rowdy, and set up a 1 creature board, which is just so easy for Harryknight to get through. And then it's up to Chrono again to find the right top deck to continue playing. Chrono is living off the top decks here. Every top deck is make or break. Just dropping the Zamor, killing the Rowdy. And after your Harryknight, you'd love nothing more than to set up a 2 creature board. But with 7 stars, that can be tough. A second Zamorzed would be amazing here. And also, notably, Chrono has 4 creature zones. Harryknight playing a Telescope without knowing the top card of the deck. This could be really good or really bad. Let's see here. This could be so bad. You could mill a Crash here, you could mill a KO. Safety Cable is not what you were hoping to find there. Yeah, I don't know what Harry was thinking there. Really going for it. I think both these players are a little bit impatient, just want to get through this match as quickly as possible, are uncomfortable in the situation they're in. Harryknight just killing a cool card from his list, a valuable card from his deck, and going -1 for not much benefit. He's going to kill the Zamorzed. Chronoknight drawing a Firebolt. Nari, that card hasn't seen play for almost ever. let's look at this. What it does, I forget. When the creature would attack and kill an opponent's creature, you can shuffle that creature into its owner's galaxy as well. So a way of getting stuff, attacking into stuff like Thorngoborg or the Lightning Squads without having to kill them, you just shuffle them back in. We're seeing that synergy in the deck, or that kind of theme in Chrono's list. But Harryknight, not only having 6 stars, Harryknight's going to be able to swing for 2 more points, get to 9, and now both players are starting to approach the magic number. Star Mosaic here, another tech card we don't see in most Shias lists. Would currently give Chrono 7 stars, but at this point, stars are not really the problem. Yes, he can play the Inari, he can shuffle back the top scanner. But then cards like the Hydron. Let me find the name of this card for the viewers at home. Okay, I'm going to go to the database and I'm going to look for Teklar and I'm going to look for 9-star creatures. Hydron of Teklar, yes, with 350 power, 390 health, and the ability to attack many times a turn. Harryknight, on the other hand, is playing his own resource zone, suggesting he has AA in hand, dropping a Rowdy, playing a Serp, so the aggression is on display for both players. We see Erratic Void here, which is huge. Chronoknight really needed that. AA from Harryknight. Will Chronoknight AA back? Yes. Yes, he will. And if you give it long enough, these tech cards that Chrono is playing will come into play. Will start to have some use. And Harryknight also on Crown. That's tough. These misplays are coming back to bite him. And I'm sure that after this game is over, whether he wins or loses the match, but especially if he loses it, he's going to be thinking about that. He's going to be thinking about playing that telescope early. He's going to be thinking about the not using the telecon and gambling. He's going to be thinking about this choice to use AAA instead of Crown. Plays like that can totally shift the dynamic of the game. It can be a game-winning or game-losing play. And it comes down to comfort and with the game. That you do this enough in Fight Club, in your just casual matches, and you'll see that you get used to this stuff. You get used to using the right card at the right time and taking the right sequence of plays. But when you play less frequently, or when you flip-flop between decks all the time, you kind of stop, you're not able to develop that fluency with the list you bring to tournaments. Harryknight should remember here that there's still game 2 to be played, even if this one doesn't go bad. Go as well as he would have liked. And I think there's a star miss, right? And I'm going to do my best to keep track of that for these players as well. Scoria carry is huge for Chronoknight. Honestly, I think that's game winning. Because now Chronoknight can go with the unintuitive Scoria plus, I was going to say Zomadal as a creature, but he's like fully committing here to Inari plus Scoria probably to draw another card. And it's going to be able to swing for 5. But this does give Harryknight a way back into this game. If he draws into the Chaos Beast, that Hydron, he can play it, kill both of these creatures, and leave Chronoknight in a very sorry state. Unless Chronoknight just has game here, TFP from the Scoria. Who would have thought it? Now that Zomadal is paying dividends, Because that Firebolt and Ari is 400, plus the Zomatl is another is 500, so that's 5 points. Scoria is 2. Killing the Top Scanner. Harryknight has played both Beast and Field. I think that's going to do it. And Chronoknight playing down to just 1 card in hand, going all out in this final push. Am I crazy? Oh, I am. Oh my gosh. Down to 19. Still has a point to gain. Huh. So now it's anyone's game, honestly. I mean, I don't think Harryknight has Crash available to him. He does? So Crash is just like game over. Harryknight still has outs here. Hydron is game winning and Crash is also game winning. For Sail Sign's not bad. Harryknight still has ways back into this game. It is not over. I thought it was. I thought that TFP game was game, but 12 plus 7 is 19, not the 20 that's necessary. So with the right draws, it is still winnable for Harryknight. That's why you never give up hope, no matter what. Sometimes after you make a... And there's the Crash! And there's the Crash. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Now Chronoknight's left with just 1 dead card in hand. At the end of Harryknight's turn, that Top Scanner is going to come back into play. And if Harryknight has any sort of creature, which he doesn't, okay, so it's still... Ooh, and the Chrono and Tower. I think Tower's going to do it. Top deck Tower from Chrono. That'll be enough to finish it. And took him a little longer than expected, but now comes the Jackro, shuffles back in Top Scanner, swinging for 5. Overkill, for sure. But yeah. Trying to see if... Yeah, definitely some fumbling there. I think there are some other lines Harryknight might have had available to him as well. With Palfiam. But hard to say. Like the turn before Palfiam Top Scanner. Play Top Scanner, clear board naturally, save the Crash, and then play it that way. It's hard to say. But that's game 1's out. Harryknight now has to win 2 in a row if he wants to win this set. Chronoknight just needs this win here, as both players go to sideboard. Harryknight here probably has Monument to Creation, maybe Erratic Void for that Chakra of Chrono. Chrono, on the other hand, might have Abandonment and Shockwave 8, which will kill both the Serpent and the Talakon. Not much to say as we wait for the players to start up. Harryknight will get the choice of going first or second. And we'll choose second, and now we draw. Some more interesting cards to Chrono. I mean, props for the creativity here. Abe Commander, a 5-point swinger. Chronoknight here clearly going for a more aggressive, big creature Shios type of build. And we are starting the game off, as always, with a few drawn passes. But they're going by quickly, and soon enough, we'll see some plays. I kind of like this part of the game. It's like a ramp up into the rest. You ease yourself in, get accustomed to the drawing, the passing, the turn, the stars, and then you start to slowly build up. You play a creature here and then, maybe poke, and then as the game builds, you can play for bigger boards, and you get much more flashy combos. But right now, you're just biding your time. Both players are kind of coiled up, waiting for the right opportunity to spike. It's a game of chicken. Who will wait longer? Who will strike first? Who thinks their deck is more aggressive? Who thinks their hand is stronger for an early attack? Looks like it will be Harryknight drawing first blood here, but maybe just a drop with that Thorngaborg, swinging for a point. Start to kill Thorngaborg efficiently, because when it dies you get the drawback, and it was only 1 star, and you deflect, so it's a very safe play early on. Of course, in this matchup it can be used to kill stuff like Jackra and Logi. And here Chrono's going to play the Logi. We'll see if he grabs Jackra or the one of Tower in his deck. Gonna grab Tower, knowing he has 2 Jackra to get later, and has the Monument to Creation here to draw 2 cards, setting him up in a really good position. Here we see the sideboard options I was talking about earlier. Shockwave 8, kill all zone 8-star creatures, so that's going to work on Talakon and Serpent. And then Abandonment is going to work on all the non-Teklar creatures, which counts as Thorn. Zamorzed is a good one. Also Serpent, Blur, that Pally package which Harryknight has added to his list. And now we're going to start to see a little bit of a slower back and forth until one player decides it's time to set up a 2-creature board and really go for it. But for now, we're just going to see the 1-creature Zamorzed. It's always good to get those cards early. We might see a match from Chrono. Right now, Chrono has so many options. I mean, the most obvious is just Zamorzed Swing. But you could burn an Abandonment here. You can go like Abandonment Aubade Commander because you have the Firestorm Sorcery available to you. You can try to shuffle it with Firebolt Inari. You could Guster to try to be aggressive with the zones. Lots of stuff to be done here. I kind of like, if Chrono feels frisky, to go for the Aubade Commander with the Firewall Protection and just swing for 5 here. I feel like that's a play Chrono might go for. Although I think maybe the more principled thing is just to swing and save your aggressive outs for later. Or you could use Tower as like a aggressive option to get back Logi and swing for points. I also really like that as an option. And I have to refresh here so the zones display properly. There we go. Yep, so we're going to see the Zamorzed. Chrono could pay 4, play Tower, and swing for 2, which I'm actually a big fan of. It's a little bit aggressive here, but I think Chrono has shown that he likes to be aggressive in these games. That's his style. Instead, we're seeing... Yep, Resource Zone. Do we see it? Oh, that's nice, yeah. Once you start to play Shias long enough, you kind of get to realize that. And I really don't like this Erratic Void here. It's kind of a waste, in my opinion. But it's going to get a little bit of value here. I think Chrono does not mind that Erratic Void getting burned, because he's going to be able to free play Logi next turn if he wants. Harryknight does potentially have the option to play a Serpent here to try to negate the Tower, the Undying Blue Flame. However, Chronoknight can cancel that with an Erratic Void. And also, even if its ability is negated, it can still be shuffled in. Yeah, I mean, Chrono must love the spot he's in right now. And if you're Harryknight, the challenge is to efficiently deal with all the threats that Chrono can have. Erratic Void is annoying, Firestorm Sorcery is super annoying, Shockwave 8 is annoying, Abandonment is annoying. I mean, it's hard to create boards that don't get demolished by those cards. You have to be like really clever about the way you set up your creatures. And it's also entirely possible that those options are just not available to you. And then what do? You just suffer. Thorn is a great way to kill a Zamorzed though. Probably no better way to kill a Zamorzed than with a Thorn. Throwback comes in, but Chronoknight's going to be able to get that Logi use again, and that's going to be just so strong for him. To be able to free play the Logi with Tower, and then we'll see what else he does. Does he want to Guster? Does he want to Abandonment to kill the Thorn? I mean, he has a lot of plays here, and it's not clear how aggressive it is to be. If I'm Chrono here, I think I'd get a little impatient, and I'd probably just go for it. I'd play Abandonment as well to just kill the Thorn and swing for 7. Maybe not the best play though, especially if Harryknight has Beast, which he does. But yeah, he's gonna get the draw from Thorn. But it's not as good of a beast as it initially seems, because next turn Chrono is gonna get that Logi all over again. And be able to swing for more points. Two starts to Rowdy. Harryknight's gonna wake up to some bad news. Erratic Void comes out. But the crown will protect. That's good for Harryknight. And the tower is negated. However, Chrono just needs the Chakra to bring it back to circulation. I think if you're Harryknight, there's no reason to do anything else except swing here for 4 or 5 points. But we're going to see some aggression here from Harryknight, which I think is ill-founded, and he's about to learn why. You take a 5-point swing where you can. Because you have to remember that Chronoknight still has Beast, Galaxy Crash, potentially Abandonment in play. You don't need to be aggressive here. You just want to apply the minimum pressure you can. And just going to swing with 1 as well. So not even like getting the total value out of Blur. But it's kind of just sitting there ready to be killed. Yeah, so when you're setting up 2 creature boards, you want to be able to justify them. And I think Harryknight didn't really justify that board there. And that's going to give Chronoknight a great opportunity here to get a lot of value. He must see the Abandonment is an amazing option here. I wonder what Chrono's thinking about. I think the Abandonment here is a no-brainer. Yeah, and then after that, with only 6 stars, you can't do much here. Maybe just a pass back. I mean, it always feels bad. But gonna play the Pyronist. Swing for 1. Choosing, interestingly, not to put a Chess creature back on top. Could have put the Roback on top of his deck, but decides he wants to draw other things. If I had to guess, he's looking for a Chakra now. Lightning Squad is going to be a good stall option. But next turn, if Chronoknight really wants to put on pressure, he can use that Firebolt Inari to shuffle in Lightning Squaws and nullify its effect. Could also just sack with Pyronist plus Zomadel. Could also just pass. That's also a totally reasonable play here. Lots of options for Chrono still. TFP as well is reasonable. He can have like procrastinate the killing of the. Oh no, with Guster, yeah, that's good. TFP Guster is gonna remove the zone, and when the zone is removed, that Lightning Squads doesn't come back. Even if the zone gets bought back, it's considered a new zone. Chronoknight also gonna play the Zomadel, so Pyronist is gonna get 2 points, Guster's another 2 points, both swinging for 150. Right at that border between 1 and 2, putting Chronoknight at 5. All that work for only 5 points. Chronoknight got that much value in the first game with just one early Jacra swing. We see how, depending on the setup, you can really like have huge differences in the amount of points you can get here. Harryknight buys back the creature zone. Telecon gets played here. Harryknight's gonna check if he has protection or not. Wonder if he has something else. Safety cable. Okay. That could be big here. Shuffling back in the Pyronist is going to make Firewall no longer useful here. And it's going to guarantee that this Telecon will survive at least one more turn. Now Guster's dead. Zomadel is not much use to Chrono here. Of course, he can't play Shockwave 8. Obate Commander can also kill, probably wants to do both of those things once. Or actually, Firebolt Inari would allow Chrono to simply shuffle back the Telecon. Oh, he doesn't have the stars, he only has 5 stars, so he can't do any of that. Just has to play Zomadel as a stall card and pass. Interesting that I see Chronoknight choosing not to use the Shockwave 8 because he knows that if he does, Telecon will simply draw a card with its effect and protect itself. So we're going to stall and then likely next turn either use Shockwave 8 or Firebolt Inari. That's the well-timed Telecon from Harryknight. see this Steam Crank getting played. So we're going to see the top card of the deck here. Harryknight will now know if he wants to protect his Talakon or not. And Harryknight betting on no beast, which I think is respectable some of the time. That if you feel like you're in a losing position, you do not have to be aggressive. You can just... You don't have to like account for everything if you're in a losing position. You can be more aggressive and say, okay, I'm already losing. If you have the beast, oh well. But if you don't, all of a sudden I have a way back into this game. That Comet's not going to be much good for much here except killing his own blue flame, which I'm sure he wants to keep for when he draws into Jakra. Until then, he can shuffle back that Talakon with the Inari. Gonna play Shockwave 8 though. Let's see, will Harry draw? Looks like the answer is no. Gonna drop Abed Commander. Chronoknight back to his aggressive ways. Zomadal killing Steam Crank with the power of the other Zomadal, boosting the power of this Zomadal to 120. As confusing as that might be, and Abed Commander swinging for 5 points, bringing Chrono to 10. But with only a 2-card hand and no stars, again, Harryknight has options here. Like a for sale sign would be really good for him. A Galaxy Crash would be really good for him. Those are the main ones. If he doesn't have either of those cards, I don't know. He needs some way to kill this Abed or buy it back or something. Zomadal is not the card I think Harryknight wants to play in a perfect situation, but he feels forced to do it here, because that's going to trade with Zomadal, that's not going to get over Abed. It remains to be seen what else Harryknight has available to him. Does Harryknight realize that they both have 160 health? Is the question. Yes, he does. So good on him for that. But why he's doing it then, I don't know. Chronoknight now can just simply get 6 more points here. Uncontested. And set him up to win this game and this set potentially as early as the next turn. Any Jakra top deck would be huge. As well as for sale sign. And Harryknight still has to find something. Like a for sale sign, like a Hydron. Maybe even Crash here. I mean, Harry has to find something, and maybe just going for an aggressive telescope. A blind telescope once again. Has to do this as last resort. Let's see what he can find on here. Heart of the Cards hasn't helped him last time. Maybe the karma will come back in his favor. Oh, and the other telescope. That must not be the card he was hoping to find. Yeah, that's tough here. I think this may be it for Harryknight. I mean, it's impressive that he was able to make... No, why Untap just kicked me out there? But okay. Telescope kills Telescope. And the Harryknight passes. He could still have Planetary Field. There's always a chance here. Chronoknight swinging, is that it? And it is! Chronoknight getting to 20 points here. Congratulations. He will be making it to the semifinals, the top 4 of Harryknight, of Astral Ascent, and Harryknight. I mean, congrats to him for making it to top 6 with Teklar. That's an impressive feat, but it was not enough in this instance. Alright, I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and